So I just did the mistake of eating one of these pears. I sold it right off the tree, and it's like very drying and makes your whole mouth feel numb. So it's inedible. All right, let's go see Jamie.
Would you like some pears?
Did you ever eat one of those?
No, the cleaner just puts them all in a bucket and...
I have to tell you, they're completely inedible.
Oh, did you have a bite? Oh my gosh.
This is so cool to be here because you see it in pictures, and then when you see it in person, it's like amazing.
Oh, thank you.
It's so much light. You have like just a flood of light from these skylights.
Yeah, we're really lucky to find this place. So this used to be a hydraulic power station built in 1902, so it's more than 100 years old.
Wow.
And they converted it into flats about 15 years ago.
Wow.
And I've been here 6 years. So.
Well, they did a really good job on the conversion because it doesn't feel 100 years old, you know? It feels, there's some freshness to it.
Yeah.
It could just be the plants that are the freshness.
Oh, okay.
So when you moved here 10 years ago, did you just start bringing plants in?
I only had a few plants when I moved in, like, I don't know, 4 or 5, but the light was so good, I just couldn't help it, you know? They got so healthy, because I was living in a tiny apartment in central London, really dark, and my plants were kind of When I put them in here, they just started kind of thriving, and I just started buying more and more, and that was just before like the whole trend started.
Yeah.
And there weren't that many places you could get plants actually, besides garden centers in London. So I used to actually take the train to the Netherlands. I went to Amsterdam to buy plants. But now it's like, oh my gosh, it's like a explosion, right?
I just went to one of your garden centers, N1 Garden Center actually, and I was amazed at the selection that they have.
Yes.
But what Paul had told me, who's the manager, owner there, had mentioned that now growers in the Netherlands are feeling a little bit more confident because of the houseplant enthusiasm from all the consumers, that they're starting to bring out a wider selection. And I have to say, even just looking at the Rhipsalis, like Rhipsalis is not really commonly grown in the United States, so you could get maybe like a little cutting.
Exactly, yes.
But in the garden centers, you have these like
Huge
this,
ones,
like
right?
very beautiful hanging, pendant basket shapes that are like fully grown out. That seems like they've been growing for years.
I know, and I have so many followers who message me and say, oh, from the States.
Yeah.
They're like, how do you get your Rhipsalis so big? I said, they came like that.
They come like a curtain. It's really remarkable. But I know that some of the plants that you have here started small. I love seeing your before and after shots.
Oh, thank you.
And it's remarkable because like, whenever I have a grow light, because that's the only equivalent that I could get to a skylight in my place, the plants do love to grow up, and you could see all your plants are like lifting their fronds to the light.
Yes,
it's miraculous. So do you want to show us around and what you have?
So my thing is about displaying. I love displaying plants like works of art. Really. Well,
that's kind of your line of business too, right?
It is, because I sell vintage art and objects online and also in person. I have a little showroom downstairs. So I like to pair the plants with the pots that I purchase. Like this is one of my favorite pots.
Yeah.
It's made in the 50s by a French ceramicist.
I love it because it looks like it has a little chicken on it.
Yes,
kippy.
Yeah, kippy.
Oh my God, everywhere I go, there's always a kippy.
And this plant is, I only got it, this spring. It's a peperomia.
This is a peperomia. I saw this at the N1 Garden Center. I was like, I've never seen anything like that.
I know, I think it's one of the newer cultivars. I think it's called Leadensis.
Yeah.
And it's, it's got this kind of velvety, and also like a fluorescent green to it. Yeah.
With the little red petioles and stuff, it's very sharp and very robust for a peperomia.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So this is one of my favorites now. I know you have this one.
I want to save the best for last, but honestly, people will marvel at this. I mean, this is the Aglaonema pictum Tricolor, and yours is so robust.
This is like, if there was a fire, this is the one I would grab.
Yeah. Well, that's good. Okay. You answered you asked and answered my question.
Okay. And it's almost impossible to get one. I think there's some on eBay now.
Yes.
In the UK, but when I got this maybe 3 years ago, it was impossible to find one. So I actually asked my mom to bring me one from Taiwan.
Oh my God.
So I found one on the internet in Taiwan. I ordered it, sent it to my mom's, and I said, "Oh, can you bring this to me in London?" And she had to get a certificate.
A little phytosanitary certificate. Well, I have to say that I got mine at a time before people knew about it, and I paid $39 for it. And I don't know if that was any more or any less that you getting it from Taiwan, but I couldn't believe it, and I'm like so grateful I got it during the time.
How did you get it?
Because it was before the rush of houseplant enthusiasm.
But was it in a shop?
No, it was just online.
Online.
There's online sellers who sold it before the craze, and now they're going for like almost $400.
Oh my goodness! Yeah, it's crazy.
You know, you just have to sell a lot of vintage
stuff to get a plant. And I was so happy because it came with obviously just like a tiny stem with 2 leaves, and the second year. It got more leaves. The 3rd year, it got these 2 new stems.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
And then just a few weeks ago, it got this one, the
Whoa,
4th.
Yay, yes. I'm rooting for you. You know, mine flowered. Has yours ever flowered or no?
Yes.
Okay, because when mine flowered, it actually died back.
Oh, it did?
Yeah, it only had, it flowered with only 2 leaves on it. So maybe the energy was going towards the flower, not the leaves. So next time it flowers, I'm probably gonna cut it off. But now it was just a stem, and now it's like 4 leaves again, which I'm thrilled about because I was like, no, if I ever wanted to get you again, I'd be paying like 10 times the price.
I cut off the flowers too because they're not pretty. Right? Yeah, they're insignificant. So yeah, that's one of the favorites. This one is quite popular now.
The Ring of Fire?
Yeah, the Ring of Fire, exactly. Yeah. And whenever I shoot a video of it, I play Johnny Cash's The Ring of Fire. Yeah. Perfect song for this.
Well, it looks like it's already trying to crawl out of its pot here.
A little bit.
Yeah. It's got a nice, and then the cuprea, right? The Alocasia cuprea.
Yes. This one, I think it had too much sun this summer, so it's not doing that well right now.
But these could sometimes go dormant, depending on the season and things like that. So, I wouldn't.
Yeah, I hope it'll bounce back soon. Oh, there's a great one here. This is the Bulbophyllum
orchid.
Yes, I think it's called Princess Elizabeth Anne Buckleberry or something crazy like that. It's
we'll get the exact name.
Yeah, we'll get the exact name. But yes,
it's gorgeous.
It's the second flower this year.
It has like tassels.
I know, really long tassels, and
I love that you have it in a bamboo pot that kind of has a similar shape to the the leaves and the petals. Oh. Yeah.
And this thing here moves, or it did anyway. So this lip here in the middle, when I did this, it was kind of vibrating.
Oh, that's cool. It's probably for
kind of dying a little bit.
It's probably for when the flies or whatever jump on it and they look like they're gonna mate with it or something like that.
Right, exactly, yes. Yeah, this is a very nice orchid.
Yeah, it's gorgeous. And your Maranta is beautiful. It's flowering right now. I know insignificant blooms, but it's always nice to see the blooms. Mm-hmm. And I love how it eventually, like oftentimes when we get these, they're kind of bushy, but then they start to drape, and I think that yours, showcases that a lot.
Yes, I chose this basket for that reason, so I can put it on top and give it a bit of height and let it drape down. Because when it gets too long, it's actually quite hard to make it look nice. Yeah.
And I'm curious because displaying plants is integral, especially if you're living in a home, because there's some people who just want to have plants for the plant's sake and just have them in their house with no kind of real curation or display. And there's others like who fall probably a little bit more on your end where there's like curation and display and it's very much in line with your business. So I'm curious as the houseplant trend has increased across the world, how has it affected your business? Has it increased interest in your business or has it stayed the same comparatively?
I certainly have gotten a lot of interest in the pots now.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because it's actually really hard to get a nice looking pot.
Yes,
it's quite difficult.
It is, yeah.
So I get a lot of questions about, where'd you get this pot? Where'd you get that pot? Because I do think that well, first of all, the shape it's hard to get it right. You know, to find a really wide bottom pot that can hold any, you know, the nursery pot.
And one that doesn't go up like this.
Exactly, I hate the ones that go, it can never get it out. And the color, sometimes when it goes with the plant, it's really nice. Like you mentioned, like the orchid with the bamboo, they kind of have a similar shape. So there's something going on there. It's kind of, they're talking to each other. So yes, I have been buying more.
You chose gold for
I use gold for, because you know what, gold and green are actually a classic combination. And you know, if you see the specs here, kind of actually goes with the, you know, the hammered look of the brass.
And I should also mention your plant stands, which are also wonderful because you're pulling them up off the ground, which would be important. If you had a chicken running around here, you would want your plants up above. But you have a cat, right? So,
I do have a cat. I'm so lucky that she doesn't touch any of the plants,
you are
except
very lucky,
for the spider plant. She eats that.
She likes that one then.
So I keep that one there just for her to eat.
Okay. You have some sacrificial plants then.
Yes. Here are my caladiums.
Very lovely, which I think have made a strong a comeback in the houseplant market.
Yes.
Or a strong showing in the houseplant market.
They were kind of the star of the show this summer, because I had actually more, but as you know, they don't do that well in...
They go dormant.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
So a couple of them have already, you know, they're already gone.
Yeah.
These are still hanging on. It's October.
It's good to know because you'll see the ones that have longer, I want to say lifespan, but have a shorter dormancy and like kind of longer foliage, they hold their foliage longer. So it'll be kind of a little experiment for you here.
Exactly, to see which ones.
What kinds,
This is the one that got me into caladiums, the Florida clown. Yeah, I just think it's so cute. So cute.
It looks like somebody took the spatter paint and just like spatter brushed it all.
Absolutely.
Yeah, there's some really interesting ones that I think maybe this one could have been something similar to what I saw, but it was like a really white, angelic looking one. I only have one currently in my house, caladiums, but there's some that I've seen now in botanic gardens that are really thick-leaved that don't go into dormancy. And I'm like, that would be a really good houseplant. So I'm testing one, I'll let you know.
Oh, please do, yes.
Because otherwise they're like the really papery kind, which has its own appeal, but you know, to not go dormant, because otherwise sometimes when something goes dormant, I don't know about you, but I'm like, I put the pot aside and like, I don't want to look at it.
I know. That's the thing. This is we can talk a lot about it.
Let's talk a lot about it then. Your Pilea peperomioides.
So I got this probably 3 or 4 years ago when it was almost impossible to get one in the States.
Yes.
So when I first got it here from Amsterdam, I had to go to Amsterdam for this. I got so many messages on Instagram from people in the States. I can't buy one. They're like $200.
They're now like $7.
I know, and that's the thing. So they I guess they started growing them commercially,
they did.
right?
Yeah. I think by the time there was like only 1 or 2 growers growing them, and they upped the price. And then I actually got 2 cuttings, also from Amsterdam, and I gave one to one of the growers. But by the time I gave it to him, it was the price was already coming down. It was already like $40, $30.
All right.
And then by the time he was in production, they were already like $7.
Oh my gosh.
But it looks like it has a prolific amount of babies.
Yes, so I used to cut off all the offshoots and just give them to people and just kept this main, the main stem.
Yeah.
And then it started losing a lot of the lower leaves.
Right.
So it started to look quite bare at the bottom. So I started letting these grow. Yeah. So.
But it's interesting too. It looks like some of them are starting to start back up too. I mean, just around the edges and the sides of the.
See, and here it's growing a lot of new shoots too, just off the main stem.
I love how you MacGyvered it like on the
I know,
pole.
it was quite an effort. Yeah.
You're like, stay upright up here, and like.
I'm a little bit of a perfectionist.
Well,
I could see to be straight.
I could see the OCD.
Yes. This one, Ficus Everest, I think it's a new cultivar.
It looks like from a petiolarius and then maybe a cultivar of that. But not with the red, because I think that one usually has a little bit of red veins, but this one looks very similar to that. I don't know
it doesn't have the red veins, but what I love about it is the texture. It's very velvety.
Yeah, yeah. I love textural plants because I do have a tendency, as people know, touch my plants all the time. They're like, I love how you touch your plants, but it's hard not to when it has a certain give to it. So
I know, yeah.
feel.
And I got this one in the UK, but I started posting pictures of it, and I got a message on Instagram from the grower of this plant.
Oh, really?
In the Netherlands.
Yeah.
He said, oh, do you like the plant? I grew it.
Oh, that's
yes.
so nice.
I know,
it's
it's
really
so
nice
cool.
to be able to touch base with the grower who grows the plants.
And they're sending me another new ficus cultivar that they're testing out.
Oh, fun. This is so marvelous.
It is really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's my dream to kind of do a greenhouse tour in the Netherlands.
Oh, but
have you done that?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, I've gone to some nurseries and some growers, and I was shocked at how, and botanic gardens as well, but I'm always shocked at how automated it is in the Netherlands compared to the United States.
Right.
Because in the US, and maybe here in the UK too, if there's any growers, it feels a little bit more like hands-on, there's a lot of people part of it, but the Netherlands is almost fully automated.
I know. And when they pick up the pots, it's like with a forklift, and they're lifting hundreds all together, and the watering as well. This one, the
Ludicia
discolor, is one of my favorites as well.
It's and again, that velvety touch, and also I love how it scrambles. Yours is so full and so reaching up to the light.
I repot it every spring because it gets really long, and I had to cut it back. So I have to do that kind of every spring, and I give it a bit of a repot. And it flowers every January. So it gets this
gorgeous.
really
the long stem with the white flowers.
Yeah, with the white flowers.
Yeah.
And I think this is the most robust jewel orchid, because I've tried a couple others that are more green.
Yeah.
But they just don't do quite as well.
Yeah,
in
they
winter,
seem. I find my other jewel orchids are they kind of stay compact, or they don't have this really thick rhizome that just kind of spreads in the same kind of fashion.
Yes, so this is one of my favorites. Oh, this one.
That's a really beautiful Ficus
ficus
elastica, but it looks like a cultivar that we don't have in the States.
Right, and I'll get you the name.
Yeah.
I don't remember. And it's really long, but I think the variegation is so pretty.
It's very pretty because it looks unexpected. You know what I mean? This one's a little bit more creamy white. This one's more golden jelly colored. Yeah.
Every leaf has a different variation.
This is minty.
A little pink here.
Yeah. And then this is a sucrulosa, Dracaena, right? A Dracaena sucrulosa,
yes.
but with different kinds of gold flecking. Nice.
Yeah, this is a very nice one too. It's just the stems are quite thin on this one, so I don't know how it will look after
over time.
It's been growing a bit. Yeah.
I like the pot it's in too, the planter. Let's showcase that.
Oh, this is the same ceramics as the Kippy one.
Yeah, well, that's probably why I like it.
And that's another one that's been,
The black ZZ.
Yeah,
I like how some of the new leaves come in kind of like a bright green, and then they kind of turn black.
Yes, when I first got it and I got the first new shoots that was green, I did have doubt whether it would turn black. I was like, oh, this is bullshit. It's not gonna turn black because it was so green, right?
Yeah, it
and
bright green. Yeah, bright green. Yeah.
And it took a few weeks. Yeah, and very gradually.
Yeah, you could see that one's just starting to morph.
Yes.
Yeah.
So this is 40% black now.
Yeah.
50%. But see, that one is it's gotten a lot darker.
Yeah, it's so funny. And then here you have a lycopodium, right?
Yes, or I've been calling it Hupertia. Yeah. So this one, I got a tiny little cutting on the internet, and it's been growing for 3 or 4 years. Okay,
so that's been good, because I know a lot of people who have Hupertia or lycopodiums, even James from the balcony in Singapore.
I know, he's the king of
these. He likes to have and what I found in botanic gardens is they need a little bit more humidity, so they often put them over water. So it's really interesting that yours is really thriving.
I'm actually surprised that it's been doing so well, because they're usually growing in kind of these upside down pots, right? So they can really drain all the time. And I have it in just like a bowl. Yeah. But I'm very careful when I water it, never too much, because I know they just don't like too much water. Yeah. Well, I almost have to look up for a second, because your hanging plants are just so phenomenal. I usually
kind of get lazy with my hanging plants because I have to get up on a ladder in order to be able to get them. And I'd love for you to comment on like how your care tips are for a lot of these plants up here.
So I have 3 ladders. I have a small one, a medium one, the tallest one. The tallest one I use for actually hanging. Like if I have to change the position of the hook.
Like,
it's like a proper builder's ladder with like 3 sections.
Oh my gosh. You're not afraid of heights, are you?
No, I'm not.
Okay, well that's good. I am. I'd be like, okay, you got to go up there and hang the pots.
I even installed that mirror there to reflect more sun, because the sun is over there, so the sunlight hits this wall.
Okay.
And a lot of it is just kind of wasted up there, so I installed that mirror to reflect it back down here.
That's good. It's like kind of the Batman signal or whatever. Although you do have white walls, so that would probably help with a little bit of the bounce, but the mirror, of course, would be much more powerful.
It's like a spotlight, like right here. At least,
You got to make sure you don't burn the plant, you know? Little ant on there, and it's like.
Yes. It can feel like that in summer,
Although, I mean, I've never been to London with sun actually out. Blue skies.
There's only 3 months of the year that you can actually see sun. Like now it's just over until next May.
Yeah.
It's sad to think about it.
Ripping the day out of the calendars every day, just like 200 days until sun.
I know. But yeah, for the hanging plants, so usually I get on the medium ladder to water them. So like this Tradescantia. These ones, I just have them in a bowl. You can't see it now, but it's actually in a nursery pot with a drip tray on the bottom. And then the bowl. Yeah. So when I get up there to water it, I just have a little bit of standing water. Yeah. I don't bother to drain it out, and it's fine. But the ones that are like this Rhipsalis, I put them in a basket and I actually cut a hole in the bottom. So when I water it, I just hold another bowl at the bottom to let it drain into the bowl. So yeah. So
you could even just put it down here and like let it drip.
I've done that too, but you know, it splatters.
It splatters sometimes from the height of it because it's up there high, you know?
It's quite high. I guess my point is with these ones, I don't do what I do with the Tradescantia because the extra water is not so, they don't like it so much. So I just make sure it's all drained. They need to dry out a little bit, Yeah. And what do you do with the epiphyllums? I really should do it the same way as I do with the Rhipsalis, but I happen to have it in this bowl, and I just make sure there's not too much water lying around.
2/3 of the way or whatever, and filling it up just a little bit.
Yeah. This one I love the broad leaves, but it does not flower. This one does not. I've talked to the person who sold it to me. This particular variety doesn't flower.
Oh, wow. Okay.
But I've had others that do.
It's good that most of the time we grow our plants for foliage in-house, you know?
Yes.
Yeah.
One that's always flowering is the begonia there.
Oh, it's gorgeous. Look at the pink flowers. They're very meaty.
Yeah, I just love the pink.
And the dappling of this, is this more, do you know what species this is, or cultivar?
Yes, Corallina de Lucerna. Lucerna, yes.
Yeah, I mean, begonias aren't always known for their flowers, but they do flower pretty prolifically. You know, because most of the time it's for their asymmetrical foliage.
Yeah, the angel wings.
Yeah.
I used to have a maculata, the polka dot one, the bigger polka dot ones.
Yes.
And it had white flowers.
Yeah. And that's an actual species, the Begonia maculata. This one's a cultivar, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Is this a Cerepegia or is it a Hoya? Oh yeah, it's a Cerepegia.
Yes. Yeah. You see the little flowers.
Yeah, the little flowers are up there. The string of hearts.
The string of hearts, yes.
I know that the Cerepegias are kind of in bloom right now, even though they're not really known for their flowers. But this is gorgeous, the way that you have it hanging there. And
then, I got that vintage scale.
Such a clever way to do it.
Thank you. Yeah. The string of pearls.
String of pearls and the Hoya linearis.
Yes.
How has that been for you? Because I just got one about 3 months ago, and it's been doing well for me. I don't know if it will continue to be doing well for me.
This is my second try at it.
Okay.
My first one grew really well for like a year, and then it just kind of, it's just dead suddenly. And it had some mealybug struggles.
That's tough,
Yeah.
mealybugs, yeah. Because it almost looks like whenever I get a mealybug on a plant, I'm like, it doesn't look like I'm watering it, but I know I'm watering it. And then it's like the life force is being sucked out of it. And then you see a mealybug and you're like, oh.
I know. I hate mealybugs more than anything.
Yeah.
I'm lucky this year because I didn't get any. Last year was
Good.
the year of mealybugs for me.
Wow. How did you contain it?
I
Did you
did
get
a
rid
whole
of some?
soap, neem oil thing.
Yeah.
Some of them I put outside. I killed some. Yeah.
Yeah. That helps actually in the summer,
Yes.
putting it outside and getting like the
Just
good
the
beneficial
elements
insects.
kill it, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's tough, yeah, and it's a
Yeah.
lot. You gotta, physically wash them off, and then the neem oil, make the mixture.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work.
I see the eye roll back there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Knock on wood.
Knock on.
And then you have your little
these-
peperomia heads here.
Exactly, yeah. These are two of my favorite pots, and I got two different peperomias, just their hair.
Yeah, and this one's in flower right here, which is fun because it looks like he has spiky hair.
Mm-hmm.
And then this is your Calathea, which I know it's just been reclassified actually.
Oh, it has?
Yeah, it's an unpronounceable name because Calathea mosaica network used to be what
Yes.
people knew it as.
Yes.
But now it's like Japortia kingly.
Oh, okay. I don't
Network.
think I can remember that.
Yeah, I can't even pronounce it. I have to practice at it.
Yeah,
but
this
it's
is
great.
Yeah, this is one of those plants that when I first saw it for the first time, I couldn't believe that it existed in nature. I mean, look at the pattern,
It's phenomenal.
right? Yeah, it's
Yeah.
beautiful. And this is one of the Calatheas that, that have grown better in my place.
You know what? Mine was doing very well, and then a house mouse started gnawing on some of my prayer plants. And when I went to go see mine, it was all nibbled. And
my God, they like it.
I think it knows that it's an edible plant.
Right.
So, and I was like, oh, bummer. But I'm hoping, because when they die back, they usually pop back up again.
Yes,
Yeah.
they do.
So they're quite resilient. But it's nice to see that yours is growing well, and it's not necessarily under the skylight. So
I might move it under the skylight soon
Yeah.
because in summer we had a lot of light here. So-
Okay.
Well, not direct light, but
Yeah.
it was enough for it. But now we're getting into the darker months. I may move it under the skylight.
Yeah. And then, of course, I mean,
Yes, how about this one?
this I know has gotten you a lot of attention.
Oh yes, definitely. So
And it's growing out of the smallest little
I know.
self-watering pot.
And that's the thing. I really have to repot it, and I don't know how I'm
mean-
gonna do it.
I mean, it doesn't look angry at you, though. I mean, it looks fine.
Except for this leaf here.
Oh, one leaf. Oh, please.
Okay.
That's your OCD. The plant is like, let it mellow.
Yeah. So it's. I started growing it on the wall 3 or 4 years ago, probably 4 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I had to keep adding the little clips on the wall.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it just wants to climb. It's kind of going that way now.
Yeah, I see that. And I love how it has these little birthmarks, like a little dark green birthmark here.
Oh yes.
Little white rippling and birthmarks. There's another dark green one that I saw right here that you could see. It's neat how you could see as it grows, then it actually starts to develop a slightly different leaf.
Right, and some of the leaves are getting bigger as they grow.
Yeah.
The ones at the top.
Yeah, well, they're probably all right, get into the sunlight. This one's gonna find it first though.
Yeah.
Actually, what is this? Is this a lepismium or?
This is a pseudo Rhipsalis.
Oh, pseudo-Rhipsalis.
The ramulosa.
Okay, it's much thinner leaved than mine. It's like half the size. Like this is as far as the breadth of
why
it.
that is. I've had this for a long time.
Yeah.
And I think the leaves may have been broader, wider before.
Yeah.
But this is the one that turns red in the
Yes,
sun.
when in the
So
sunlight.
it does a little bit here as
Yeah.
well, but not completely red.
And then your pilocarpa right there.
Oh yes,
Which
I
is
love
so
the kind
fuzzy.
of grayish green.
Did it have fruits for you recently? Because mine was fruiting.
I noticed the flowers, but I didn't. Yeah, I don't think it
went
was
to fruit yet.
pollinated. No.
And
this
then-
is another epiphyllum
Yeah.
that have. I think it's called Acromanii.
That's a new one for me.
It has these huge red flowers.
Yeah.
Around May, June.
Yeah.
It's so beautiful.
Wow. And
That's
then
another
philodendron.
philodendron. I don't remember the name of the variety.
It looks like a little bit like black cardinal. Or
That may
something
be
like
it,
that.
yeah. But I love the
I
color.
love the growth of how it's, deciding to grow in that pot.
Yeah, and this is African hemp.
Wow, I would not recognize this. It looks like something solanaceous, like related to the potato or tomato plants.
I know,
bit,
and actually,
the fuzz.
it looks like a big weed, actually.
Yeah.
But this is a houseplant staple in the Netherlands.
Is it?
Yeah, they told me that a lot of them grew up with one of them.
Wow. So there's some nostalgia there for
Yes.
the Dutch.
Yes, and it's the texture that I love.
Yeah.
And
That fuzzy. I could see
very
that you like
fuzzy.
the fuzzy velvety leaf. And then this one.
This one was also reclassified multiple times, right?
Thaumatophyllum right now, is it? Is Thaumatophyllum or is it a?
I think it starts with a TH. Or,
Yeah,
that's it. Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, that must be it.
Thaumatophyllum.
Okay.
Is it a xanadu or?
Xanadu,
okay.
yes, that's it.
Yeah.
I got this from IKEA, actually. It was,
Wow,
Yes.
good on you. So you probably got it at a nice discount.
yes, it was very cheap.
Yeah.
It wasn't tiny, but it was like maybe this big. And I've had it forever. And I love how the leaves change its shape. So in the beginning, it was more like, they weren't as serrated
Yeah.
as these.
And do you like every time you walk, do you like brushing up against it?
Yeah, it's getting difficult to walk around the house. My guests are always like running into
Yeah.
things. Yeah.
I actually do want to point out the Warson Whiskey Eye, the Maranta, or the Calathea. Now it's a Japortia, but that one, because again, velvety leaves, kind of hard to not point out that these have very velvety leaves and beautiful undersides as well.
Yes, yeah, it was so beautiful this summer. Now it's starting to get some brown edges. but,
Yeah.
yeah, with these ones, it's hard not to.
It
right?
is. I mean, the humidity, and did it flower for you?
Yes,
Yeah.
it did. Yeah, white.
Because the
little
white,
flowers,
creamy
yeah.
white flowers are
Yes.
actually quite gorgeous too. Very hard to keep perfect though. Maybe not something for somebody who's so OCD as you.
Yeah, that's the thing with calatheas.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're beautiful in the summer, and then
Yeah.
when they start looking kind of, I'm like, oh, should I give it to someone now? What's the humidity like in New York?
In the summer, it's very humid.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, you
Okay.
don't need a humidifier. In the winter, with the heat on, I guess it depends on your heating units, but it usually drops down to about 30% humidity.
Okay.
So you need a humidifier,
I see.
not only for your nasal passages, but also for your plants. Otherwise, a lot of the high maintenance ones are going to
Right.
get very crispy. Yeah.
Yeah, here we kind of tend to get away with it. Here it's about 50% most of the year, so
Yeah.
it's not too bad.
Yeah.
When the sun is really shining in summer, it can go down to like 35%.
Well, that's the thing. Even one bad burn for some plants
Yes.
could actually be a little bit of a death knell.
Yeah.
Well, this is just remarkable. I love the fact of how you take like a curatorial approach to your plants,
thank
of just
you.
like the types of plants that you bring in. You obviously, see that you have a really refined aesthetic. So pairing that up, because that's not something that everybody could do. But given that it's like your line of business and your kind of passion.
Yes, I kind of see them as
good
works
pair.
of art, like I mentioned before.
Yeah.
And so, like the vintage pieces that I sell, like each one, I appreciate it individually. And I try my best to display it, the best that I can. And so this is kind of my little garden here. So that's where I have my morning coffee usually on a chair, and then just, look at my plants.
You had mentioned that you had some outside, huh?
Oh yes, so I have a summer camp. That's what I call them.
Summer camp, okay.
Yeah, where I put my cacti and succulents outside before I move them in.
Should we take a quick look, or should we just peek out the window, or what do you recommend?
I think we should put on our shoes and go outside and take a look.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
Oh, before we head out, let's talk about these three.
Yes, absolutely. I don't want to miss any.
So this is the pothos and enjoy.
Enjoy,
Yes.
yeah.
I like the variegation, and it got so long before. And then I did one video where I just took it off, and it
Like a big
literally
haircut?
stretched up to here.
Oh my
it was that long.
Goodness.
Yeah, and I cut it all off, and I got like 10,000 crying emojis in the comment section.
Well, you probably wouldn't get crying if you were like giving them out on the street afterwards.
That's the thing, you know, when you have like 1,000 things to do,
Yeah.
I don't have time to like divide the cuttings and like post them to people.
Yeah,
in the
I know.
States.
Oh no, believe you me, I know.
But you know what? It's fine.
Yeah.
They can take a cutting.
And they like it.
They like
they
it,
kind of
yes.
get bushy back up because you know, to each their own. Some folks don't mind them draping, and then sometimes you want a bushy. And of course, you work out of here. You have kind of like a practical element.
Yeah.
You have an aesthetic element. So you know the plant needs to be pruned.
And I think it looks quite nice with a shorter haircut.
Yeah.
And this Rhipsalis.
I love this one because it's like tassels.
Yes, and I love how bouncy it is.
Yeah.
I always play with this one. And there's some flowers here.
Oh yeah, look at them, little yellow ones.
Tiny
right?
little yellow.
Oh, the yellow and
white
white.
ones.
Yeah. I guess I was looking at this, but the base of them look like they're yellow, but this one looks like it had dyed back, but they're little white ones. Really insignificant, but nice when you come up to it and you can see how frilly and lacy they are.
Mm-hmm.
And then is this an Aschenanthus?
Yes.
It's got a really nice leaf structure to it.
Yeah, this is one of my favorites too. It flowers all the time.
Yeah. It's a shame that it's not in flower now,
Right
but
now,
mine is also a very prolific flower.
Yes.
Is it red flowers for this one?
Yes, red flowers.
Yeah.
Little red lipsticks.
Yeah, I almost feel like mine is in bloom 75% of the year.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Mine's about 50%.
Yeah.
So.
I love it. You have like different shoes that you put on, different places, different times.
Yes, OCD.
This
It's
one looks like my
actually
dad.
a very neglected area here. I can tell from the weeds.
Doesn't that look like my dad? It looks like my dad.
Oh, does it?
Yeah.
Oh,
He's got less of a bushy beard, but you know.
oh that's cute.
Yeah.
I got this pot in Bangkok, actually.
It's so fun.
Yeah.
I love little head pots. I think they're so gnarly. I have one that looks like a little bit of a witch, so I think a lot of the witches out there kind of gravitate towards it.
Cool.
Serious for
this is
spiralis.
Yeah, this is the star of the show. I ordered this on eBay. It was sent to me from Italy.
Wow.
They actually grow a lot of cacti in Italy.
That's fascinating.
Because Jin, the owner of Conservatory Archives, who's a personal friend, she's getting a lot of cacti from Italy now. They're these like small, specialized growers that only grow cacti. So, and I didn't pay a lot for it. And I've never seen one this big, commercially available.
Wow, well, I will put that back in my noggin of like places to go see and visit. Is this a type of crassula?
It is, yes.
Unensis or something? I can't remember. It's a beautiful one. I've only seen it once at a botanic garden, but it's pretty marvelous.
Yeah, I love the
dark color. Yeah, yours is nice and compact, and then I love the reticulated look of these. I think it's a type of opuntia.
Yes, it is a opuntia.
Yeah. You're like, oh, I can't stand it.
It's pretty neglected here.
No way.
I put everything out here in spring, and then I just kind of leave them alone.
No, but it's good. I mean, I think that they're kind of sopping up some of the sun's rays. They're direct. They're obviously clearly happy. A tephro-cactus with the peperaceae. Love those.
The problem with this one is that it keeps falling off, like the new growth. Is that how it propagates? Like,
Yeah.
I think
Yes,
it
it
fell
is.
off the top.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they will propagate that way. So just probably doing what you're doing with putting them around is fine. And this one already looks like it has
Roots.
a little root that came out. It knows what to do.
I think that's another one that fell off of the main.
Oh, that's fun. So how do you bring these back in the house? Where do you end up stashing them?
Some of these are winter hardy in England, and I just move them over there.
Oh, perfect.
Under this walkway, so they don't get rained on.
Yeah. Well, I find I have a very blustery window in my windows, so I find that my cacti are the ones cacti and succulents are some of the ones that could handle the cold temperatures.
Right. Yeah. You'd be surprised. Like last year, I left. Which one did I leave out? Well, all the opuntias I leave out because they're quite hardy. But last year I left out one that was sure that was gonna die, but it was just, which one was it? Oh, this one.
Oh, nice.
Because it looks more like a jungle cactus.
Yeah.
So I was sure that it was gonna die, but
Yeah.
it was completely fine outside.
Oh, very good.
This one I also ordered online.
I think that's similar to it's called pine cone cactus, but this one has the spines, right?
Yes. And I waited 3 years for it to grow this big. It was just it was just not doing anything.
Yeah.
I was actually questioning whether it was dead. But this spring, it grew
Yeah.
this little ball
It looks
here.
like a little kind of steampunk snowman.
Yes, that's the perfect description for it.
And good things come for those who wait. So that one's a little bit more, you had to be patient with it. This is marvelous. I love the beautiful display that you have here.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, and knowing that the weather it is, that some of these will have to be, bundled up over there.
Yes, protected from rain.
Yeah. Well, thank you. I really appreciate this.
It's
Yeah.
nice having you.
It was so nice having you. It's really nice meeting you. I actually have a copy of my book that I'm going to give you too.
Oh, yeah. Can't wait.
So I brought that for you. It's good because I don't have to take it home too. So. But yeah, so this is marvelous. Thank you so much for taking us around your place and sharing a little bit of your story.
Share your thoughts on Jamie's skylit London home, and if it stimulates some new decor directions for your place in the comments below. Keep on top of your plant's care. Sign up for my houseplant care spreadsheets. If you purchase the 125 houseplant care spreadsheet or enroll in the houseplant masterclass, you'll also get tutorials for our free houseplant care tracker, which sends you automatic reminders for watering and fertilizing. Additionally, you'll be able to record, track, and share important milestones in your plant's life. Details on homesteadbrooklyn.com and in the description below.